opportunity to leave the room. I would not want to offend you. I will always be on the side of those who have nothing and cannot endure the nothing they have in peace. Shh. That was the best sound you'll hear tonight, or any night. It's what you've been counting on. It's what allows you to do what you do. And you know what? We've been allowing them to. Sticking our heads in the sand, pretending everything is okay. Sticking our heads in the sand, pretending it's not our problem. Sticking our heads in the sand and maintaining the silence. So let's turn this place into a daycare before nap time, full of beauty and innocence, but not silent. Never silent. Shh. We take one of our greatest gifts and hold it hostage. When we choose not to speak, but believe me, it is an incredible feeling to stand tall and confident and unleash your voice. Me, I do this through poetry. The University of Chicago recently informed their incoming freshmen that the university would not condone the creation of intellectual safe spaces where individuals can retreat from ideas or perspectives at odds with their own. This sparked a national debate over whether or not safe spaces help to create or censor freedom of expression. Within the slam poetry community, the freedom to speak often comes at a cost for both the speaker and the audience. So using the poetry, This Mic is Not a Safe Space by Brian Francis, Speak Up by Spilius, Use Your Voice by Holly Painter, Safe Space by Jamar Valentine, Pain by the Denver Youth Poetry Slam, and Lions by Whitney Williams, a program investigating whether or not this is a safe space. Hurry, 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 and step right up, folks. You've arrived at everyone's favorite carnival show, the Poetry Slam. We've got all your favorite acts lined up, so settle in and get comfortable as we bring before you a parade. First up, on the main stage, please welcome the sassy, overly emotional ramblings of the woman. Rate my pain. Even on days I don't feel like dying, I perform my poetry like I do. My poetry is the result of writing confusion out of my body. My poetry opens a vein and says, hey, watch me bleed. To score, I keep the pain. I debated whether or not to include my suicidal thoughts and remembered that this was not the stage to let my blood flow freely. Next up, on the main stage, please brace yourself for the power of Federico Garcia Lorca. On August 18th, 1937, was taken from his jail cell, driven down a dark, abandoned road, and murdered for being a poet. Believe me, the words he spoke did not create a safe space. He spoke of love and revolution, but the poets of his time didn't try to censor by branding his words as offensive, no. He was only silenced by the bullets that punctuate his body. When I get up on stage, I try to let all my fear go. Because I know we can have an impact with what we say. We can change the world in as little as a sentence. So this is a challenge. To unlock your voice box and throw away the key. I want you to rummage through all those thoughts that are telling you to keep quiet until you find the one that says, speak, I am shouting, but you do not hear me. One day you will look for me and I will be gone from this world. 2 days after reciting a love poem over the phone, Zarmina, a 17-year-old girl locked herself in a room and set herself on fire. Her words did not create a safe space for us. She didn't sit down, type her words into 12-point New Times Roman font for a line of poetic Caesars or censors who stand in the back like judgment, like Comos over Maximus, like whose words will live and whose poems will die, whose worth is safe and whose is unsafe. Slam poetry gave me a home. But we forget it is also a blood sport. There are carnivores here. The slam is family dinner. We are all eating the parts of each other we brought to the potluck. If I do not romanticize this, how will I survive this? We're forgetting the point. The point is the poetry, but what if it's just about the blood? We pretend there is nothing mad in the way. Audiences demand vulnerability. You call this a safe space, but I know abusers live here too. If I have already been painted blue without my consent by chronically happy people looking for a muse. Do our tongues offend you? I don't know who in the fuck told you you own this mic, but it belongs to all of our voices. Not just the pretty ones that match your belief, it also belongs to the hateful ones that fuck your religion, that rape your gender. This mic is an unsafe zone. It's not meant to be a safe space. It's meant to be an open space that opens minds. Poetry was meant to be dangerous. That's why we poets write with wrath in our pens. Isn't that why you stand here, good ghosts, to stare at the tanks of their judgment, to crush their silence? Isn't this glitz and grief the show you came to see? Isn't that chair comfortable? There's no danger in hearing these stories, but these mouths gun you down with guilt like the click of a trigger warning. This mic is the safe space. Safe for freedom of expression, safe to fight fear, anxiety, and depression, safe to keep the pill out mouth, gun off head, and noose from around neck. As long as we're up here venting, we're not out there exploding. I don't know much about the Bible, but I know Daniel tossed himself into a pit of lions and he survived because he trusted in his own words and mind and soul. So this is my leap of faith. Open to the possibility of getting eaten alive. I will not ban the lions. I will invite them in. And they can feast on my flesh. They can keep my jugular, and it'll be proof that I was here. I am still here. We are still here. Maybe together we can decide how safe we want to make it.